Well, a very good morning and nice to have you with us in this edition of the Topical Discussion. My name is Simon Kagwanjala. Our focus this morning is on the Blue Camp. We're exploring the deep politics as the Katonga faction looks apparently stuck. After going around combing the entire country with consultative meetings on the way forward, they're in a funds crisis. They cannot hold the delegates conference. The much anticipated delegates conference that was slated for 2nd August has been postponed to a date we are yet to establish. But even in the midst of all this, they have also been hit by yet another crisis. A team of their youthful activists were arrested, picked from Kenya, brought to Uganda, and slapped with charges of terrorism. Could this spell a storm for the party? Is the splinter group hitting a dead end in their campaign to find a bearing? By the way, there are quite a number of options that they were weighing in on. One of them was either to reconcile with Najana Nkumbi or start their own party, among other options. But what's now at play and what's on the cards? That we'll be examining during the course of the topical discussion with Mr. Harold Kaija, the Secretary General of FDC Katonga, together with Honorable Robert Centenary, who is the current spokesperson of FDC Najana Nkumbi. Well, a very good morning, Mr. Kaija. Good to have you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Angela. First of all, I want to congratulate our Kabaka upon getting to the 31st anniversary of his coronation.
Agunde Gunde.
We shall Agunde Gunde Bene. We are going to be in Namirembe to pray and thank the Lord for his life and the achievement. And I also ask God to give him more years of health and energy and wisdom to steer the kingdom to greater heights. Thank you.
There is every indicator that Katonga is stuck. According to your calendar, you would be by now running up and down for the delegates conference. Yeah. But there's been a confession from the chairman that there's no money. How bad is the situation?
No, it can't be zero money if you're not having an extension of 2 weeks. It can't be. And we're not. And you see, in an economy where today traders have closed shop because of what is happening in the economy, it only tells you it would be a miracle for us to be having money. We depend on our support base. We are not like the others who depend on Mr. Museveni's money. We depend on our resources, picking from the MPs, members, councillor, and individual members, and those who believe in the values that we espouse. Those are the we depend on. So when they are in the financial crisis, definitely would be the financial crisis. That's why today you see churchgoers or believers cannot buy vehicles for their clergy. Clergies have to wait for Mr. Museveni. So, but in our own way, in about 2 weeks, we'll be having that delegates conference.
But you had raised our anticipation. You had raised everyone's antennas that there would be a delegates conference. So that suggested that you were prepared to go by the calendar.
Yes, we do.
Do you want to say that this, in a way, is a setback?
Of course, it is a setback. Our calendar was second, but because I have told you of what is happening in the country affects our support base. So in the way we said no, to have a proper delegates conference that will achieve the goals that we intend to achieve, we needed to extend for about 16 days to have a proper delegates conference. If you arrive to Katonga today, I saw in NBS was there yesterday, the cameras must have seen of what is going on in Katonga. All MPs are now stationed in Katonga. Today they have their weekly caucus meeting. Because now every Wednesday, our MPs sit at Katonga. If you reach right now, they are there. Then after we shall be having all activities are moving on as planned.
Okay, do you still have the audacity to carry yourselves as FDC?
Yes, we do, because as far as the Constitution is concerned, you remember the delegates conference of the one that we had on the 15th of September 2023, which was chaired by none other than the chairman of the party, the Ambassador Birigwa, as far as the Constitution is concerned. But you see, in a situation where you are dealing with a junta, will always get off squeezing you, even when you're on the right side of the law. Eventually they make you appear as if you're wrongdoer. So that delegates conference was in the line of the law, summoned by the person in the council that was required to summon it, who is none other than the chairman, and that is Mulongo Waswa Birigwa.
For how long will you hold on to this name and the properties of FDC? Yet the mainstream says you're doing it illegally.
It is
and
not a mainstream.
Illegitimately.
Those are masqueraders. It's not they are not the mainstream. You ask Mr. Centenary, who called the delegates conference, if he's a genuine person, who called the delegates conference where he started.
Well, Honorable Centenary, good to have you and a very good morning.
Good morning to you and good morning to our viewers.
It's now a battle of who is legit, who is illegit. There's FDC Katonga and FDC Najana Nkumbi. So, who is real FDC?
Well, I don't think I would waste my time answering that question, because an entity that does not have a force of law is non-existent. However, to maintain peace, we have just ignored them to call themselves what they want to be, and they can continue mobilizing for us as the FDC. For us, we are happy when our name keeps flying high.
Who are they?
As the FDC.
Who are they?
But if I want to be polite, I'll tell you that FDC exists on plot 1164, Najana Nkumbi and Tebe Road, where my brother Harold used to sit until he ejected himself from his home. But I can say he's still welcome back home. The gates are open. And like you've seen, we have proceeded with our agenda of mobilizing the masses. You can see that, FDC still exists, and it exists very strongly, by the way, on ground.
There's something quite telling, Honorable Kaija. When Besigye has been going around the country, he's received a very lukewarm reception. Unlike Amuriat and Nandala, who are received by huge crowds. Do crowds lie?
Apparently, it depends on strategy. One person once came and asked Honorable Salam Musomba that I want to go and contest in a given constituency. Honorable Salam Musomba advised that person that go and first buy for people booze so that they vote you. I've been watching NBS, seeing people failing for the first time. Failing people, give them a t-shirt, give them 20,000, give them booze, and give them food. That even on the NRM rally, that has never happened. That was their strategy, because they had passed by their time of being buyable.
Do you have a record of it?
I do. Do you want me to give you a video?
Yeah, please.
Do you want to give you a video?
20,000, what else?
Alcohol.
No, alcohol, that one.
Yes,
That is way. Yeah, let me tell you, Kagwanjala.
Hey, so,
When I was member of parliament,
you would buy booze.
I used to have barazas, okay? And after our rallies, I would give people drinks. They enjoy. But let me tell you, if you see the video probably he wants to share.
The one in Mbale.
Yes.
It must have been
No, even in Kasese.
Even in Kasese.
Even in Kasese. People are annoyed with him.
A very big crowd.
Actually, you see,
of supporters listening to us. Those who wanted to have their drink were having it. Actually, for me, the drink actually reduced on our crowd, because about maybe 10% of the supporters were lining up to have their drinks.
Someone sent me an
But-
audio of the announcements that you're making. You are inviting people.
There was
will be
no
plenty of
announcement.
food,
Yes,
transport,
even in
and
Kasese.
alcohol.
No,
Yes.
no. That's a very
I
big
have an
lie.
audio.
That's a very big lie. Because you
Today in Jala, the office of Kasese is closed because
see,
of
it is
rain.
opened. It is opened. The office of Kasese is opened and functioning.
Wapi?
Call
It
Kasese,
was
call the
closed.
chairman and ask him.
It was
Yeah?
closed because of rent.
Rent, who was paying? Our
Rent.
members of parliament.
What?
Yes, it is
Who
our
pays
members
rent?
of parliament. Even when I was member of parliament, we used to contribute money towards
Now,
the rent.
in the strategic plan-
So now that we had 3 members of parliament, okay,
You know,
they took up the responsibility to pay
Honorable Njala.
for that rent.
Honorable Njala.
So the office is
just a second,
open.
Just a second. I'm
I
going,
can
I'm coming to
authentically
Harold.
tell Kaija
Is it
that the office is
Okay.
open.
Is it precedented in the history of FDC that for you to mobilize people, you have to buy them alcohol and free T-shirts?
It's not actually. By the way, let me tell you. If
That
I
you
come to
answer
your
that
function, okay, and you treat me to food, to a meal, let's say, for example, or a drink, it doesn't necessarily mean that people came to have a meal or a drink. In Arua, there was no alcohol, for instance. How many people turned up? If you think it is the alcohol that was bringing people to come and attend to us, how many people turned up in Arua? So, in Soroti, for example, there was no alcohol.
you say it?
How many? Yeah.
You say it?
Alcohol was only in Mbale,
Alcohol
Offered
was in
by the host.
in Soroti. The
then
good
in
thing-
Kasese, offered by myself.
No. No.
Yeah.
You actually have an audio. Him
Offered-
calling with the chairman over funds.
Which fund?
Kabuhu.
Which fund?
Over funds.
Which
He
fund?
was given funds from the base and he chewed the money.
Carol,
the
now people lied. I am not. let me
No,
tell you, I am not
you
a
know,
street
I follow groups.
I am a
Oh, you are
credible
aware.
person. I have
You're not
businesses.
credible. You're
I
not
earn
credible.
money.
No, let
a
me tell you.
budget.
Let me tell you, Mr. Anjala.
It's
that
okay.
gentleman contested as independent. He contested as independent because he was hoodnobbing with Mr. Museveni. Do you know what he told them? You can board and go to Kampala with another bus and come back with another. So going to Kampala in FDC and coming back in NRM, it was okay. That's the reason why he contested.
And why didn't I contest on the NRM
The
ticket?
reason, no, because you know.
No, but I think what
I know.
that
No, the
takes
people of
us away.
Kasese will have 3
Actually,
NRM members
for him,
of
he was
parliament
brought back.
and 3
He was only
members
brought
of
back.
parliament
No,
of
As a
FDC.
mercenary.
No, this takes us away from the gist of the
Yes.
debate.
Exactly. They are being
We want to
diversionary.
focus on the state of affairs within
Yes.
the blue camp.
Yes.
Apparently, you seem to be having irreconcilable differences with Najana
Of
Nkumbi.
course, because
Yet, reconciliation is among the big options on the cards.
it depends if you are scoring the same goal.
Actually, we are not scoring the same
Of course,
goal.
these ones are facing Mr.
Kagwanjala, let me tell
Museveni.
you.
Are in bed with Mr. Museveni.
The people who
For
are
us,
saying
what?
we are in bed with Mr.
Yes,
Museveni. If you look at the biggest number of defectors, they have been their loyalists. Look at, I don't want to mention names, but the most recent one was Odo Taewa from their group. We have a number of defectors
No, people are defecting.
going to the NRM
No, people are defecting
who are
because
allied to
the agenda of
Katonga,
the FDC has been betrayed
to Katonga.
by the what?
But why
By
haven't
the
you put them
centenaries.
together?
by the
You
centenaries.
see, the people who are pointing the fingers at their colleagues
How I
as
wish the camera
hobnobbing
looks-
with Museveni are the ones leaving. I'm sure even Harold must be on the way.
No, I cannot be like
Very
you.
soon you'll see
No,
him going away.
For
Because-
you, this one, when the people of Kasese were mourning, he carried Mr. Museveni and his bags of money and took them to Kasese. I looked at Sentinel and I said, is this the Sentinel? Does he feel
Do
the-
I
okay,
even
the
have
pain?
the muscle to carry a president?
Honorable Centenary, FDC
Laughable.
Katonga has been traversing the country.
Yeah, and you can see the
Holding-
embarrassment they've been having.
Which embarrassing.
These guys who are in Mbale, they could not even fill up a tent. And 100
Where?
tent.
Maybe because
100
they didn't have
seater.
alcohol.
No. Dr. Besigye was a crowd puller. Actually, wherever doctor would be in the past, you would see spontaneous crowds, at least even 300, 500 people would come spontaneously. But we must accept that everything has its time. And also, FDC, by the way,
So now,
can be there without me.
So Amuriat is
Can
rating
be
higher
there
than
without
Besigye.
Besigye, can be there without Amuriat, can be there without Nandala.
So-
it is a people's party.
So Amuriat now rates higher than Besigye.
It's not possible that Amuriat is rating higher than Besigye.
Because it
but
pulls
the
crowds.
people love their party. You see, FDC is an institution and it is not owned by an individual. So when there is an activity of the party, the members and supporters of the party will come in large numbers
Harold,
to listen
Harold,
to their
don't you-
leaders.
don't you find that quite worrying?
No, but you see,
That the Besigye who used to command crowds.
no, as I told you, when you look...
And by the way, let me tell you,
Hold on.
No,
Let him respond.
listen to me. First of all, we have a strategy. I know you've been following our movements. One, our most important thing, agenda was speak to the people, the leaders. Two, have a radio talk show. That's why even you see when we are moving, we move with 2 cars. Just 2 cars. When you see, you even saw the Cairo movement, there are no pedophilia, there are no people putting on t-shirts, because we said, first of all, we want people to understand why we are in this.
So what?
Let them, after 19th, we go out, without people buying booze and the rest, and they will see. The strategy will be different. You just look at the cream on our side and the team that side.
but Kagonja, let me ask, does he want to insinuate that everyone who comes to the FDC rally drinks? Even in our population, even at a function, you'll have guests. There will be those who want
But
to
it's
drink.
a crowd pulling strategy.
And there will be those
it's
who
a
don't.
crowd pulling
no,
strategy.
No.
Food-
I asked him a question.
food-
In Arua,
Food and
there was no food, there was no
There was money.
drinks. Money.
There was money.
Who gave them money?
There was money.
And where does the money
no,
come from?
you people.
Show us. You said you have a video of the money.
No. I said
Show
I have
us-
the video
show us
of
proof.
the booze.
Show us proof.
Of the booze. Of
No,
the
the
booze.
drinks I've told you
Yes,
I
of the
bought.
booze.
I bought.
You didn't buy them.
And it's
Centenary.
for
Centenary.
all- ask
Centenary.
in Kasese.
Centenary.
For
You are brought
all-
as, wait a minute. You were brought as a missionary.
To do what?
Ingrid was denied to come out to the party. Your
Did
role
she
was
apply to return to the
go
party?
and abuse Besigye. You
No.
did it in Kabale.
Did she
People
apply-
almost what
did
dealt
she
with
apply
you.
to return to the
You
party?
went to Mbarara. That was his role.
You know, Kagwanja, let me
Because
tell
for
you,
him, after working with
It's
Museveni,
very shameful
it
for
becomes very easy
people
for such a
of-
person.
of his age, to reduce themselves to rumor mongers.
What did you do?
You know,
What did you do? What
actually
did you do
they have cleaned themselves and hanged on to the FDC brand because they know without it, they can't do much.
No way.
FDC is a brand that has been built by the population for 20 years.
to what extent would you?
Now, tell them to move out without the FDC
You see,
brand.
when he
They will
was
not
in
even get
Kasese,
those small
he was
crowds
telling
that
them
they
that
have been
Besigye is
getting.
coming. They even
Honorable
put a
Centenary.
flyer that Besigye is coming.
Okay.
Secondly-
if FDC Katonga has been unable.
It's not even
to,
FDC Katonga. It is Katonga Group. Because we can only have one FDC.
Katonga Group.
Because, let me ask you, this is NBS. Can your correspondent in Kasese call himself NBS Kasese?
So who are these guys at Katonga?
It is a group in Katonga. Maybe you can say a breakaway, they decided to break away, I don't know,
Yes,
but they still call
they
themselves
still hold
members.
on to the tag of Forum for Democratic
Yes, and
Change.
for us, we don't have a problem with it because
There was a time when he threatened legal action.
actually,
no,
not necessary. It is not necessary.
They have their Museveni.
We let them be
Museveni can do them
to
good
call
things.
themselves FDC because they are increasing on our mobilization.
Okay.
If we have another team in Katonga mobilizing for the FDC, it is okay
Do
for
you
us.
imagine they are making any serious headways in their bid, either to break away or
It has
reclaim, or
failed
to
because
reclaim?
do you know how many times they have called a delegates conference and they are postponing? Actually, that delegates conference may never even take place because, first of all, who is attending? 2, under what locus is it being called?
They have delegates. across
Which
the country.
delegates? If you go and collect people from the streets and you consider them into delegates, really, it's a very big shame.
But it's the big.
They
it's
know.
the same
No, let me
accusation.
ask you.
It's the same
procedure
let me ask you.
accusation
that is
that
used.
is being.
They know the
slapped on you.
procedure that is used to constitute a delegates conference. When they came to
I asked
Kasese, for
him-
instance,
I asked you to ask him. Who called the delegates conference?
Which one? We are not living in the past.
That made him what he is.
I am the national vice chairman.
Yes,
Western
no, who
Uganda.
called the delegates conference?
Okay? Even today.
No, who called that
Do you
delegates
want to
conference?
respond to him?
He doesn't want to. That's why he doesn't.
respond.
He's
No,
the
no,
one
no.
who
Respond
did.
to him.
I can't respond to him.
He can't because he knows they are
He
masqueraders.
knows. They went to court
Who called it?
and you know the verdict.
Answer the question.
So why would I waste my time answering
No,
such
who
a
called
question?
it?
They know the
No,
verdict.
no. I thought this is very simple.
Yes, who
They were
called it?
trying to challenge.
Who called it?
It's very simple.
Who
The
called it?
office of the chairman
What does the constitution
Okay.
say?
has a number of vice chairpersons.
What does the constitution say?
You understand? And for me, I would implore Kaija. I even told you, remember the last time I was here, I said, if these people say they are the legitimate FDC, let them just go and get a mini statement from one of the bank accounts of the FDC. Then we shall say, okay, they are authentic. But I don't think we even need to debate whether who is FDC
No, but
and
I
who is
think
not
it's also
FDC.
very fundamental.
Yeah?
We, we need to stamp your legitimacy.
We
in
are
the
very
office.
legitimate. Have you seen anybody evicting us? Especially from the headquarters. Or, you see, they cannot transact on behalf of the party. That is where now the locus of the law comes in, the force of law. Who is mandated to transact for and on behalf of the party called FDC? That is the discussion we should be having.
Yeah, but
Anybody can call himself FDC leader. It is okay, no problem. For us, for as long as you are not committing crime in the name of the FDC, we shall allow it. That's why, you see, when we went to Mbarara, they organized people to come and attack us. And for us, we said, we are not going to be like you. You move around and carry out a referendum against yourselves. They know what they have been facing when they are meeting those people.
Harold, have you weighed the risk of trading two Forum for Democratic Change factions? Isn't it killing the morale of the party across the country?
What you do something little. Let's just go out and stand on the road. And then you ask people, anybody, you know what they call like an opinion poll, and ask people, which FDC do they think is legitimate and is pursuing the aspiration of Ugandans? Just going out.
But the pictures are
No,
speaking
even if
volumes.
we just moved around NBS.
The pictures are speaking volumes there.
Doesn't this really speak to a big identity crisis? You're struggling to hold on to a property.
Now, of course, no, we are not struggling. We are not struggling because this is a brand that has been tainted.
By who?
The people
You yourselves.
of, no, the people of Uganda believe
Coming up with shameless rumors, allegations that have no
shameless,
proof.
I asked him,
Actually, you
why
are
did
the
he,
ones who tainted
no,
the
why
image
did he
of
contest
FDC?
as independent in Kasese?
Because you caused the confusion.
You know, he
You caused the
contested.
confusion. You remember after the
No,
contest of
no,
between General Muntu and Amriat?
Uh-huh.
The same confusion you had started actually causing even now. You caused it.
No, why
and created a departure
No, why you?
which gave root
No,
to
I'm asking you. Why
ANT.
did you?
You remember?
No, there were primaries in Kasese.
Did I participate?
Yes, why didn't you?
I didn't participate.
Why did they
because you
refuse
had
you?
caused confusion
No
in
way.
the party.
No way. It is because you had
Did I
actually...
participate in the primaries?
It is because they refused to give you the ticket.
No.
Eh?
How can they refuse to
Chairman
give you a
said,
ticket?
no,
A ticket when you have not
Eh?
participated in the process.
Because he was actually
And by the way,
operating-
let me even inform him this
We are
later.
dwelling on the past.
Yes.
What does the present look like for FDC?
Yes.
It is in shambles, isn't it?
Actually, the FDC is in shambles.
It is not.
You're right.
It
It is in shambles. Eh? Actually, these ones now can no longer even stand out to speak about the kind of change for them. They're even okay with the status quo. Eh? It is actually our team that is trying to tell Ugandans there can be some kind of hope. For them, it is okay.
Do you want
it
to
is
suggest
okay.
that FDC is firm?
But I mean, we first ignored these guys.
You just look at the profile.
We ignored them
Profile them.
and let them move around.
You profiled them.
You know? So when they moved around, preaching that FDC is gone, is finished, the support base has gone down, we said, okay, no problem. If it has gone down, time will tell. So we went to Soroti. And the people of Soroti were very firm. They said, for us, FDC is our party, we are going nowhere. They said, it's because Amriat comes from Teso. That is why he pulled the crowds. Said, okay. We went to Bugisu. Now they started saying, Nandala bought food and alcohol. That is why people came. But either way, there are even places where they will prepare food and bring alcohol. And people drink and eat from a source that they trust, by the way, if these guys didn't know.
Okay, you've been in FDC for a while.
When we went to Kasambula,
you've been in FDC for a while.
Yes.
When did this tradition of serving food start?
Actually, food was served in Mbali, and that has been a tradition. If you ask, if our Harold can be genuine enough, he will tell you that, actually they call him chairman. Whenever Chairman Nandala is in Mbali, not even on a rally, by the way, even on an ordinary day, you will go to Mountain Inn, you will find a buffet people will eat. For him, that is his tradition. He serves his people.
I have never been on a rally. For him, it could be a new kid. Moving around. You know, a new kid moving around. No.
Moving around.
You have been on zero grazing. These are constituency people. I have been moving around this country since this party inception. I have never been on a rally in Bugisu or anywhere where food.
You have never seen Nandala. You know it's
I've never been on a rally.
You know it.
Yes, and food is served.
And okay, where else was it served?
There was booze in your area?
No, food.
No. Because,
yes,
no.
I bought it. I said it.
There is a
Why
strategy.
must you insist and make it a big deal?
There's been a campaign.
And it is not the first time. 2017, I had a baraza. I bought booze. That same ground. 2018, I had a baraza. I bought booze. That same ground.
2015.
18.
So 2015.
17, 18. 2019, before COVID, actually the last rally I remember, the Honorable, the late Cecilia Ogwal was my guest speaker. I had booze, simply. So it's nothing new. But even then, I asked you, what is the percentage of the people who lined up to drink vis-a-vis the percentage of non-drinkers? So how do you categorize the people who don't?
I saw crowds.
Now there
was a truckload of cans.
Yeah, it was. Actually, I bought 80. Let me even give you the number.
Let me tell you.
Let me give you the number. They were 80. But
no, he was given
those
money.
People
and
were being served from a tent behind while we were having our activity.
And
you saw
it's
the
okay.
video. It's very okay. Let me tell you, this was a get-together. Even at a funeral, by the way, they serve drinks. So how about where people are congregating together? The other day, I saw...
You don't find it ridiculous?
I don't find it ridiculous. Actually, can I tell you something? If you go to Kasese now, and you ask...
So if this is synonymous with serving alcohol?
No. I've told you. Every constituency has its way of doing things. And I want to tell you, Kagwanjala, by God's grace, if I go back to Parliament, and I have a baraza, be sure you'll see those cans. Because for me,
you're not apologetic for inviting people.
No. Those who wanted to drink,
free T-shirts.
No, those who wanted to drink, they drank.
Isn't this?
And those who are not drinking were there. Actually, they constituted the majority.
Okay.
Yes.
NRM has always been.
If you ask Harold, whether it is the first time the party is giving T-shirts, by the way, there are only 500 T-shirts. You can imagine. But do you want to tell me that there were 500 supporters at that rally? There were only 500.
So they are making a big fuss out of nothing.
A big fuss out of nothing. How do you cry over 500 T-shirts, really? That is what the party contributed. 500 T-shirts.
You seem to be focusing on frivolous issues
exactly.
over the key points, the key issues
what is that
led to your breakaway.
No, what is that missing?
They have no explanation why they are breaking away, other than selfishness.
You have not deeply interrogated the issues that led to your breakaway.
No, we did.
You're now busy lamenting about
and sour graping.
Let me tell you, for us, we've moved on.
So why are you popping
where?
your nose into our affairs?
No serious.
You are the ones who have the
video.
videos of money being distributed when we, the members, don't
That
even
is
have
what
them.
Katonga thinks about being in the same camp with them. No serious person.
Obviously, we can't be in the same camp with
At
you.
least the majority of people don't drink booze. Very sober.
I
So
saw
that-
you
but
are
for
in there
him,
with a bottle. Did you see the picture?
Dr. Besigye?
Yes.
Dr.
The
Besigye?
bottle on his table.
Dr. Besigye?
You didn't see the picture?
Then you don't know him.
Huh? Did you see the picture?
You don't know him. Even
But
you go
anyway,
to blackmail a person you don't know.
What
he
is
knows
wrong?
him. Does Dr. Besigye take booze?
I'm not sure.
No, at the time you've known him. Does he take booze?
I'm not sure.
He doesn't take booze. He doesn't take booze. He even taught us.
Have you seen him seated on a table with a bottle? You saw the picture?
No, I have not seen that picture, but I know he doesn't take booze.
Okay.
Yeah, but look, you want to suggest that reconciliation hit a snag. It's
Because
very,
we are scoring in different corners.
Yeah. That is why some
They
of you are-
joined the eating what club? We have remained in the oppressed club.
What are they?
Which oppressed club
we are
being guarded
only-
by
because you see,
SFCs?
Because
And then you call yourselves oppressed. When you are
today,
is the treasurer general.
today, for us, we can't be in that side. You see, Uganda is divided into two camps, the oppressed and the oppressor. And I have a video I have recorded trying to categorize the kind of people masquerading as opposition in this country, the types of opposition people. Because today, it has become suicidal in some places to contest as NRM. So you become NRM, agree with them, but contest to appear as the opposition. You remember the case of...
Buweju, yeah. Actually, Buweju is one of the
like
examples.
the case of the pumpkin. You know the pumpkin?
Like
The
Buweju
country
is
story.
one. Actually, Buweju, we don't even have
no.
councillors of FDC.
No.
You know it.
I have not seen Mwejuche do what you have done.
What have I done?
I have not.
That he hasn't done?
I have not. When people were crying in Kasese, it was you carrying Museveni's money.
Carrying Museveni's money.
After 2016, it was you. Actually telling people, no, it is okay. The king is in jail. He's the king. He said,
Where
it
is he now?
It is
Where
okay.
is he now?
Not then.
No.
It is you caused the situation.
Where is he now? And
For
what
me, if I
message is
reach
he
at your
giving
level,
to the people of
I ask
Kasese?
God to take me.
Eh?
When I
don't
get to
even-
your level.
I don't even want
I
you
don't know, I asked
to,
God
to
to take
involve
me.
my king
No,
into petty talks. Because these people, they have all the unfolding events surrounding
Do you look
the
at-
king's
do you look-
situation.
do you look
and
at-
I don't even want to
No,
discuss it.
let's not take that route.
Yeah.
But do you look at reconciliation as anything Najana Nkumbi would consider after being bruised by the Katonga faction?
By the way, let me tell you, for us, we don't have the kind of bitterness that our brothers have. Whenever they want to return to the mainstream, they are welcome. Nobody is going to deter them from returning to the FDC because...
What would be the conditions? Is it unconditional?
By the way, there are people who have returned. There are people who have... Ifas, Kafureka, in Marara,
that woman is like him. He's a Ruzi Kanula.
Okay,
That
let me
woman
ask
is
you,
like
okay.
you. Bring a
Honorable
serious name.
Florence, I'm just giving you. Honorable Florence, the woman MP, for Kasese
Has always been with you. Bring
Atkins,
Semuju.
Katsabe.
Bring Semuju. Did Kashe attend your rally? Did people come from his...
Do you have...
Did Katushabe
No.
attend your rally?
Do you
Was
have...
it in Kasese?
Let me ask you. Do you have a recording when he's bidding
No.
farewell, saying, I no longer want to associate
No, I want to ask
with...
you. No. Did Katushabe attend
you
your
want
rally?
to say that
I was with
Was
him
it in Kasese?
at a planning meeting for that rally.
No.
I was
Why
with
did he
him
attend?
at a planning rally.
He didn't attend. He
With
demobilized. He stopped his people from attending.
Which people did
He's
he stop?
away.
Kasebe never stopped anybody.
We'll take a break.
Those are
and
just
return
rumors.
shortly. Good morning. Welcome back. We're still exploring the deep waters that the FDC camp is held in. Actually, you would call it the crossroads. Both Katonga and Najja Nkumbi now seem to be, the loggerheads seem to be continuing and the rift seems to be widening. But at the end of the day, where is this disarray now headed? Well, there's been a lot of exchange and it's rather bitter. Do you still look back at your old template and reflect on the issues that led to the current crisis?
Yes, we do. Not even looking back, we've been following. We have a track record of what has been happening.
Is the Sone issue of money resolved?
Yes, that cannot be resolved. You see, and what has happened is we are trying to look at ourselves that how would we create ourselves in a situation whereby what happened to the FDC does not happen to us going forward. Like I was telling you before the show started, what has happened to revolutions around the world, whereby those who actually liberate themselves eventually are captured by those they actually dislodged. The other day, Dr. Besigye was attending a meeting trying to look at revolutions or movements, liberation movements, where have they betrayed people. So we are trying to look at all these situations that if we say, fine, we are moving on, how do we form into ourselves a kind of grouping that is a little insulated from the kinds of situation from the junta?
Because political parties, is the option of a political party popular according to the sentiments that you've tested on the ground?
Yes, it is popular. And even told you some of the issues I may not say here, and I think you bought into it. You just can't organize without it. It would be, no, this is an issue that may be far from what you may appreciate. So you need an address, you need an organized people so that you are able to nurture leaders. If you went out and just said you are just on the streets, and you may be like the Gen Z.
Like you are now.
Yeah, like the Gen Z. No, at least even, I told you,
actually,
today.
Gen Z is even better organized.
No, I told you today, we have our parliamentary caucus chaired by the Honorable Semuju. Right now, every Wednesday, they sit in Katonga. After it, at midday, there is NEC. So we have that kind of structure. We have the women, we have the youth. So if we don't have, as I told you, what affected the Gen Z was a failure to have such kind of formation. They put Ruto down, but they did not have the leadership like a Semuju to go to parliament and ask for the resignation of the president. They thought it would be like you come and say, President, resign. They needed someone to send out to provide leader and say, now our next move, after firing cabinet, vote of no confidence. That vote of no confidence, all MPs will come and vote on the side of the people. Ruto will be out. But now because for them, they were on the streets, they had no people to do the planning, the power planning, they collapsed. So we have that in our mind. Others, there were some colleagues who said, no, to hell with political parties.
Well,
let's be a social movement and move
FDC prepared for an imminent breakaway, a new formation emerging out of FDC. FDC birthed NT, and now...
Even this one of their friend, Betty Kamia, which one is it? Federal.
Federal.
Yeah, she's one of the founding members of FDC, the Federal Alliance. Then
Will FDC stand?
It's not the first time that we are being faced with that situation. And you know, every situation that you are faced with makes you even grow. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we have withstood it before, and it's not a problem.
So what
it will be regrettable, but if they so choose to form another political party, it's okay. And by the way, that very question has been asked by some delegates. They asked, Doctor, you were in NRIM, you were historical. You left, came and joined the FDC, formed. you are leaving, how sure are you that the one you're going to form is not going to have the same challenges?
So you're keenly
FDC
following.
where you are leaving,
You're keenly following
and
what
NRM
transpires in
where you left. Of course, they come and give us feedback. So, and now with the people,
What was his answer?
with the likes of
No,
the people,
what
like
was his answer?
some of your president, who have been, I think it's a group of disgruntled people, because if you see the profile, the president used to be in DP, then Sue.
I was also in DP.
Then
I was in DP.
FDC. I don't know which other formation is
I was in DP.
And so if you look at the profile, it's a profile of migrants. People who like migrating.
Who want to go to where?
From one part
who have a mission.
desperately.
Are you saying this of the founder?
It doesn't matter.
No, for him. No, he was. Let me tell you.
You must be stable.
Njala.
Aren't you belittling
Njala.
messaging?
Let me tell you, Kagwanja.
Before the camera, if you hear what he speaks about Bessie.
You have a family, and you are a head of a household.
You're
If you are
belittling
going
the
to
founder.
run away from your wife and children every time you have a disagreement, then there is a problem. Running away from problems is never the
How I
best
wish
way
the
of resolving them.
cameras look into
Basically, is a
face.
migrant.
Well, that is for you.
That's
but
what
I've
you
told
said.
If you profile, and I said the president,
Did you say?
I said the president. It's up to you now to start profiling the other migrants. Like he has also confessed that he is also a migrant.
Yes.
At least for me, the only party that I have known in my life is the FDC. I briefly stood as an independent and still came back.
No,
home.
you were first
so you can
NRM. Before you came back.
Because you don't know me.
No, they know you.
So how do you know me?
Your colleagues say it.
Don't be a
Mr.
Rwamboga.
Kaija, increasingly, some of your members are getting frustrated.
And they're joining NRM. Actually, NRM is recruiting more from Katonga than from Najanankulu.
No,
Yeah.
do you know what even
You
made
want
us
me
laugh?
to mention
Eh?
names?
Eh?
Please
You have
allow
to
it.
mention names. You see,
You also mentioned yours.
when he was in Kasese, they put up a stand and got 200 of their members, and they said they are NRM now crossing to what? To the FDC. So, a journalist in Kasese said, now, this is what NRM has been doing, is what they were doing. Say, now, possibly, what would make us big?
Okay,
is
why
to show
didn't
that-
they cross from Soroti? You see, these friends of ours actually are so disappointed that we pulled off. So they are trying to look for every
Centenary, when the
excuse
situation became hard,
to demonize
Centenary did not go to the radio.
the FDC.
When people said, in Kasese, did you attend in the evening?
On Radio
You
Messiah?
didn't.
I was there.
You didn't.
I was there. I was on Radio
Mr.
Messiah.
Anjala,
Haija, don't speak
Mr.
about
Anjala,
things that you don't know.
you have people, you have a correspondent in Kasese. They will tell you, in the evening,
There is.
they left their guests to go around the radio. They say,
No.
Okay.
The studio was actually full.
FDC Katonga is in a dilemma, financial dilemma, as Nadia Nkubi looks fluid.
no, we are not in a financial dilemma. A financial dilemma presupposes that we have no shortage of getting the little money we want. When you have brains, you see one time, Mandela was asked by his teacher, if there is money and wisdom, what would you pick? For him, then he would pick money. He said, why? I already have the wisdom. So when you have the wisdom, you'll always get what you want. We have the best cream. When you look at the profile of people, anybody would want the people at Katonga to be his people. When I have Semuju, I'm like, oh, when I have Lukwago, when I have Dr. Messenger, I feel like I have the best of
Because
this
you
country.
worship them.
I have the best of this country. Do you compare it with any of them? You can't.
Oh
you are not a
my
match.
God.
You are
In
not a
terms of
match.
what?
You
What are
not
your
a match.
parameters?
You're not a match.
What are your parameters?
No, you're not a match.
In terms of profiling people, what are your parameters?
No, we just go to the Hansard in Parliament.
Crowd pullers or-
No, and then we check what was your impact in
Have you
Parliament.
ever been in Parliament?
And then we say, no.
The
we look
number
to the
of
Hansard.
times you have contested to become a member of Parliament. The people have rejected you.
Yes, but when you
At
ask
least for me,
Ugandans,
I've been there
me
once.
and you, me
And
and
then
you,
you say you are
who
the
do the
kind
people
of-
trust? No, let me tell you, winning an election in Uganda is a little scientific.
Don't go there.
These ones go here.
Where
You
did
don't.
your science go? Where did your science go?
Honorable Centenary, FDC has embarked on a countrywide digital registration exercise. Yet, when you go out there, you want to depict yourselves as a popular party with mass crowds that throng your rallies.
That has been
What
FDC.
explains the contradiction?
That has been FDC. FDC has had crowds. Do you dispute?
No, finish your question. There's a question. I'm interested in that question.
What explains the contradiction?
There is no contradiction.
You want to register digitally, but address mammoth crowds.
Those crowds, by the way, if you observe, there is also a tent where people are registering.
How is
Come
it?
from the crowd.
No,
and
on the
go.
first they registered. They said
Go
they had
and
10,000,
register.
but only 700 registered.
Only 700 registered.
No, yes, I saw in one of the online papers.
You see, it's interesting.
Actually,
if you ever see a woman who claims to have divorced or separated, but keeps asking the children, "What time did your father come back? What did you eat?" You know that person actually, deep down in his heart, is still
There is
interested.
every sense that if this is no longer a political grouping, the country can contend with.
We agree with
It's-
So why are you clinging on the
No, we are-
FDC?
that's why we are
Why
trying-
don't you go
So
and
why do you
create
still
your own brand?
Why do you still carry their symbols and everything?
No,
Exactly.
because we have a mandate.
Why do you
to
carry symbols and
mandate. Actually,
the
today for me, I don't. As a person, I don't. I don't.
why do you call
It is a
yourself
shame.
FDC?
No,
It's a
you
shame.
are the secretary.
No, I have
of
told the colleagues.
FDC.
I have told the colleagues. After 19th,
Which 19th? It was supposed to be.
after 19th, you see, when you don't know, try to learn to know. After 19th, for me, I will have nothing to do with anything called what? The FDC.
Thank
Even
you.
if
Now
they chose,
Now you're being honest.
for
So
them
you're
if they
ruling
chose.
out the option of
For me as a
reconciliation.
person, as a
Don't
person,
even wait for 19th.
Do you see
are
yourself
now
ever
today.
going back to Najananko?
for me, myself, no. As a person, no.
But there is an olive branch.
No, for me, as a person, I said as a person, I'll tell colleagues,
You
I'm like
see-
Samuju. We say, as a people, like even Samuju said, I am out of it. We are many people who say we're out of it. There are those who still say they will keep clinging on. Those who can cling on say, guys, we should learn.
Why do you reject an olive branch? From
Because the vehicle does not face where I want to go.
where is it facing?
You don't know.
I don't.
Okay. Okay.
Honorable Centenary, the likes of Semuju have categorically come out to say they don't want to associate with you
It is their right.
anymore.
It's their constitutional right, by the way, to belong and not to belong anywhere. And nobody will force them
Is
to.
it time you ask
understand?
them to return cards?
The cards even expired. So
So you
even
don't
if
count
they
them
don't
as members
Even
anymore?
if they don't return them, it's up to them. But they can also
Because
keep
you
them
see-
as souvenirs.
because
You
you
see,
see-
those comrades of
Honorable,
ours
because
have played a very big role in building the FDC as a brand. I can tell you, you will never hear anybody in Kasese abuse Honorable Chibanzanga, even when he crossed over to the NRM. Why? Because he is one of the people, actually was the champion of bringing FDC to Kasese. Even as I speak now, when we were having our issues, he would call and say, "You guys, what's happening to our party? A party that we sacrificed for. We put our resources, energies, our useful time into it. Can't you people come together and agree? What is it that is there that is unresolvable?" You know, when General Muntu was leaving the FDC, our friends said there were irreconcilable differences. A few years down the road, they invite him to come and ally with them. That's a very big contradiction. It shows that they don't walk the talk.
No, who
What
was it?
they preach,
No.
what they preach
No.
against General
No, I
Muntu.
want to ask, who was preaching against General Muntu?
You guys, I was in Muntu's
And now
camp.
who?
I
Now
was
who?
in Muntu's
The people
camp.
he's working for.
I know.
Are the guys?
They were,
Who is that?
They were, you
Who is
let me
that?
tell you,
Who is
every
that?
group has a commander.
I know who is
Did
that.
you want to respond to him?
Hey, who is that?
Who led the ouster of Muntu?
Hey.
He knows. Do you
I
remember
know. Say it.
When we were in
Ah,
Nambole.
say it,
Okay,
say it,
Kaija, you remember
say
when
it.
we were in Nambole?
Say it.
What did General Muntu say?
Say it.
There
say
is a
it.
video of General Muntu
say it,
saying,
say it.
and he was pointing
No.
at Doctor. He said, Doctor, I
who
have
was
contested
moving
with
around?
you a number of times, and after losing to you, I have rallied behind you, traversed the whole country, canvassing for votes for you. What do you want from me? Why did the General Muntu make that statement?
You ask him. You ask him.
Because he knew.
No, the people he had issues with.
commander.
No, I want
Now
to ask
for
you.
you,
No, I want to ask you.
you are
Can
trying
General Muntu
to
come to
say-
Jana Nkumbi?
You're trying to,
I want to ask you.
blame
I want
the
to ask
people
you.
who are being given instructions.
You supported Muntu.
Yes, I did. I did.
Today you were in Amuriat's camp.
I know he went to.
I am in FDC. I'm not even in Amriat's camp, by the way. I am in FDC, Forum for Democratic Change.
Who's president?
Because Amriat
Do you believe
is
in
serving
do you
his
believe
last
in
term.
Amuriat?
So don't insinuate that when Amriat's term of office ends, then I'm also going to leave. No. I could even be the next party president
you're
or the next secretary.
you're serving
general.
under
So
the leadership
I am
of Amuriat.
serving
Under the leadership of Amuriat.
whom I did not appoint,
But you detested
who
him
was
then.
elected.
You detested them.
He was not my choice then.
Today,
Today is my leader and I respect. Yes.
well, that's
The-
Forum
the
for
disagreement
Democratic
not
Change for
necessarily
you.
amount to disrespect.
Where does this disarray lead the Blue Party? The once mighty Blue Party that seems to be crumbling at a very terrific speed. Good
It is
morning.
not crumbling, my friend.